Uh,
I know, I'm just picking. We are live. I will go ahead and share the link again.
there. I had to
Hello,
redo it.
hello, Chris, Cosmic Cultivators.
Hi, Cosmic Cultivators.
Anyone that would like to come up, y'all are welcome to. I'm not sure if Mr. Robert's in here or not.
He was in here. He said hi to me.
Yeah, I'd seen that. Oh, comments. Um, I'm really excited about the growth in the greenhouse. I'm really depressed about my growth in the raised beds. Um, the raised beds are planted almost 2 weeks ahead of the greenhouse, and they're a third the size of the plants in the greenhouse. Um, Thinking about different things I can add right now to it.
Homestead Aquarius is here, sir.
Okay. Hey there, Britain Farms Homestead.
Hi, Britton Farms. Um, if with your raised garden beds, you have to water them like every evening because the ground in them dries out so fast.
They actually hold a little bit more water than I thought they did. I'm running the Hay Rims Family Farm. I run the timers twice a day for 3 minutes, and I think I'm a little bit much on those 3 minutes per plant with the amount of water I'm putting out. I'm putting probably 12 to 14 ounces per emitter in the PVC pipe into the basically 12 to 14 ounces per plant. I think I'm a little bit much on it. I've actually had Sheena. We've been turning it off. We run it for 2 days and we turn it off for a day, and it seems to be helping a little bit more like that.
Right.
I don't think that the soil I have in there is really working well with the plants. Um,
Um, maybe a little fertilizer
I
or a
actually
little potash.
I bought I can't find the potash. We used to have places all over that had the sugarcane pulp, composted sugarcane pulp, and that's what I have in the front yard, and it does amazing. It holds enough water for the plants, but it doesn't stay saturated. But they don't hold them anymore.
Unless
Um, I mean,
we
they don't
need
have it anymore.
we need to say hi to Garden Done All Wrong and
Oh,
um Go Buddy 42
bro,
420.
buddy,
Yeah, and Rims and Britain and
Mr. Robert,
yes, Homestead Aquarius could come up and play.
he
You
sure
know,
can. Anybody's welcome. I had posted the link up. I'll go ahead and post it again if anyone else wants to come up. Um, don't have a whole bunch we're talking about. Just throwing things around. I'm stuck in the house by myself right now. Oh,
hi Peanut Peppers.
Peanut, what's up, brother? Sheena, my wife. Chubbs. Chubbs, you're doing your fingernails. Go do your nails.
Hi Sheena. Um, go do your nails. Yeah, I know that you're gonna be on Grow Something with Jeff tonight, singing your karaoke.
Yep.
I'll be in bed by then, but I'll watch it on Saturday. I always do, you
Yeah.
know.
We're gonna we're gonna see. I don't know if I can do a whole 4 hours by myself of singing. There's gonna have to be some talking in between. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have some fun. We enjoy it. I'm really getting used to doing the karaoke once a month again. Um, I used to be bad. I used to be karaoke 4 or 5 nights a week when when I was single, and I enjoyed it. 2 or 3 nights a week, I was hosting it for myself. When I wasn't hosting it for myself, I was going around singing with other people. Hey there, girl in the garden. Um, yeah, but back to the potash. We used to get the sugarcane compost, and it's basically potash. It's really good. Works well around here. Um, just they quit making it. We haven't been able to get it. So I think the addition I'm going to try this time. I've already tried adding. I've added a 4 cubic foot bag of perlite and a 3 cubic foot bag of peat moss to each bed. It
Hi.
seems to help, but it's still not quite enough. I think I just need a better base, something with a little bit more compost.
Right.
So I have a cousin that has a cattle farm, and we're going to talk to him this weekend about picking up some of the hay from the wintertime that's been composted and pooped in, and all that stuff from the cattle, and we're going to put it out there. He doesn't spray his hay to
Root
kill.
sniffer. Your root sniffer grow something with Jeff came in too.
Hey, Jeff, the cockroach.
Yeah. Well,
um,
another thing is like the fertilizers, the potash. The majority of that stuff comes from Ukraine.
yes, Ukraine and Russia, correct.
Yep. And
Um,
so it's going to be a shortage of it. So you need to, yeah, like Danny said, have an alternative route to get your fertilizer so you can use it for your gardens and stuff.
I've been stocking up. I actually purchased some triple 20 from Amazon. I like to order locally if I can, and the feed store I have almost across the street from my house. He's usually great with the prices. Um, I contacted him about getting some triple 20 water soluble because I bought the Dosatron fertilizer injector pump, and I need to do a video on it because it is really amazing how it works. Um, but as the water passes through, it actuates the pump, and the pump sucks in the fertilizer from a bucket that you have below, and it actually mixes it in as it's going through. So it's a really cool system. Um, but he took a while to get back with me on it. So when I didn't hear from him for almost 2 weeks, I went ahead and I ordered some off of Amazon. Uh, it came in, and I still hadn't heard from him. He was having issues. Come to find out, he was having issues finding it. So I went back and looked on Amazon before I heard from him, and it had went up $10 in 12 days
Yeah.
for a 25-pound bag. It went up $10. So I ended up ordering it from him for, I think it was $52 or $57 a bag for 25 pounds, which it's more than I want to spend, but I know that's what it is right now. Well, thanks for stopping by Britton Farms Homestead.
A girl in the
We'll be
garden
doing
came in
karaoke
too.
later. If you're bored, come listen to some bad karaoke on Grow Something with Jeff's channel. Yeah, but right now it's $89 a bag. I paid $59 on Amazon. I guess it's about 6 weeks now, and it's $89 a bag right now. It went up $30 a bag.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. That's for doggone sure.
Yeah.
And the stuff ain't coming down for a long
Oh,
time.
no, no. Um, I did. I had. We've talked about it on your channel before about the fertilizer. I had a friend that back in October told me, he says, hey, the fertilizer prices are going to go up. He deals in a lot of that fertilizers and stuff. He's like, after the first of the year, it's going to start going up. So I went ahead and I ordered the fertilizer for the greenhouse I needed.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
uh,
Joe,
you
how's it
got
going?
you got to stock up when you can.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
Joe.
I purchased that, and then I actually went back and purchased 3 more bags of it. So I should make it through this year and partially into next year with the fertilizer. And I mean, if things get horrible with the fertilizer, I'll just cut back to one greenhouse.
Well,
Um,
here's another thing. A lot of people don't realize this. If you can get sawdust,
mhm.
okay, as long as your mulch doesn't have any stuff on it, you can also use mulch. Why? Mulch is made from trees. Now, your sawdust and your mulch with none of the chemicals on it is not illegal for you to put down on your ground because it is natural, and DNR will back you up on this one. It is natural fertilizer.
Right. Well, the stuff I ended up buying for my beds last year, early in the season. Hey, Swafford Homestead, thanks for stopping by. Um, Ended up being a soil builder. You normally put couple of inches of that below a small 2 to 3 inches of topsoil, and it builds, it breaks down. It's basically sand and pine fines. And talking to the guy at the nursery I bought it from, he's like, man, he said if you inject any fertilizer into it, it's going to work great, and it just hasn't. My cucumbers popped. It's been a little bit over 2 weeks, and they're still 2 inches tall.
Right.
It's not working, and I'm not putting supercharged fertilizer to them, but every time the water pumps, I'm putting out about 30 ppms of triple 13, which has, I'm sorry, triple 20. At the least, it should be probably a foot tall after 2 weeks. So
Homestead Aquarius is right. Prices aren't coming down.
no.
This is a
Um,
nonstop train now.
Ribs Family Farm, grow something with Jeff's channel tonight. You can go on Homestead Aquarius's community tab or my tab, and I think Abundant Acres community tab. We all shared it out earlier today. I think it was. So you can go there, and it'll have a link to the karaoke for tonight. Phew.
Yeah, I know. Things aren't getting better, guys.
No.
They're only gonna get worse.
Yeah. like I
So,
was saying, the fertilizer, if I have to, I can cut back on the I don't need 3 greenhouses to grow. So it's kind of a back and forth thing. If I could sell enough tomatoes to be able to pay for the fertilizer, it's worth it, because I have plenty of people that's already asking for tomatoes. But it also gets to the point of, I don't want to be selling tomatoes for $3 a pound to be able to pay for fertilizer, and people think I'm ripping them off. They don't understand the fact of the price of fertilizer. I don't make any money off of my time, and right
well,
now,
that's the thing. A lot of people aren't awake enough to realize, or they're too busy, and they're denying, deep in denial. But you go to the stores, you're gonna see the prices on everything's shooting up. There are stores that have empty shelves in a lot of towns, you know, and people just they can't comprehend this. But when you got to buy and pay for your fertilizer and other stuff, and it's high price, then yeah, the price of the people that grow the food's going to be not as high as stores, but you know,
we
going to
we
be
went
higher
to
than what you expected.
we went to the store this morning. Colt wanted some tomatoes, because we have 6 tomatoes on the vine. 5 of them are cherries, but he wanted some tomatoes, and the 99 cents in big letters, 99 cents for 4 tomatoes. I'm thinking that's not bad. So I picked them up. It ended up being $3 because it's 99 cents a pound. But it's not some good tomatoes. They're still not ripe. Anyway, I don't want to get into the differences between my tomatoes or homegrown tomatoes, as opposed to the stuff you buy in the stores. It's not even
Right.
close.
I know. The home stuff tastes a lot better.
Gardening done all wrong. We gave away a lot last year of tomato, a lot, to the point that the friends that we had that were struggling with the price of oil and the oil field being down, told us to quit bringing tomatoes. They couldn't. They were sick of tomatoes. They didn't want any more tomatoes. That's when we started selling them. We never took money from them, but we'd end up coming home, and we have a little refrigerator outside, and the refrigerator ended up, we come home one time, they had $100 bill telling us thank you for the tomatoes, no name or nothing on it.
That's a pretty good refrigerator.
Making money. We ended up making more money in donations from what we gave away. People would, because I would not take it, the
Right.
money, and the people would come back and they drop money off, put it in the refrigerator with a nice note, or you just open the refrigerator and they got $10, $15 in the refrigerator.
I need a
Um,
refrigerator like that. I keep opening mine up, and there ain't no money in
I
it.
keep opening mine with that little dude. I keep opening mine up. The food's not even there no more. That
Yeah,
dude
I
don't
know. I
stop.
know how that goes too. I
Six
think
years old.
I
He
think
went
my
to the doctor.
refrigerator's broke. It's not giving me no money.
He went to the doctor the other day. He had the flu. Um, he didn't go to school Monday because he wasn't feeling well. Tuesday, Sheena brought him to the doctor, and he had the flu, not the other stuff.
Right.
Um, but
The old-fashioned flu.
the old fashioned, yeah, the original,
Yeah.
uh, like the old days, like he says it. But he was 49 and 3/4 inches tall and 70 pounds at 6 years old. I'm like, Sheena, you need to cut it back on the hot dogs and stuff. He's way too big. You know, he's actually the average height of an 8 year old and a little bit overweight for an 8 year old. For a
Yeah.
6 year old, he'll be 6 years old next weekend. For a six
I
year old, he's
I had
way
a 2-year-old the size of a 5-year-old,
wow.
and nobody could figure out why he didn't act like a 5-year-old. He didn't know how they acted. He was
Well,
2.
that's his first year playing t-ball. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got that? A kid that old and he wants to hang on his mom and everything." And it's like he's 3.5, and they wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know exactly how much fun that is.
He
Had
was
a little
10 pounds.
homestead up by the beach.
Oh, hey, little homestead by the beach. Um, yeah, he was 10 pounds when he was born, 23 inches long. We had to literally come home get some clothes for him to leave the hospital because they didn't have anything over there to fit him.
Yeah, newborn size don't fit 10-pounders. Trust me.
No,
I
no.
had 9.5-pounder. That was bad enough.
And he was three
Hey,
weeks
tool
early.
time.
Hey, tool time. Yeah, he
It
was
was,
3 weeks early.
it's a
So
good thing he was 3 weeks early. If he'd have
yeah,
been full term, he'd have been carrying Sheena home from the hospital.
and the doctor when we actually went in that afternoon for the stuff, and the doctor's like, "Yeah, we need to have this baby. It's when can you do it?" They both said today, so that's how it ended up happening. But yeah, he was way big. Uh, from gardening to growing kids.
Yeah.
uh,
You
yeah,
never know
he
what we're going to talk about, but
no, and
it all
there's
goes
nothing.
together.
It all does. Let's see. I'll post a link again if anyone wants to come up. It's an open chat. My Canadian cousins, boy, they all full up in here. Canadianas. Well, in the area I'm in, they call it the Acadiana area. It's where the Acadians, the people from Nova Scotia, settled in the state of Louisiana. The um, Cajun umbrella, kind of they call it. It's called we call it on TV in the area. It's called the Acadiana area. So if you hear me talking about Canadians and stuff like that, and I say my Canadiana cousins, that's why I'm Cajun. I do speak funny, but it's intentional calling them Canadianas because Acadiana, Canadians.
To me, you don't speak funny.
Oh, I do. I've learned a lot in the last 10 years to speak more proper. So it's even my kids say that. Joe, I haven't done a whole bunch of lives lately. I've reached my watch time. I've reached everything I needed to do to get monetized. So we try to move around to different people's live streams. Usually on when I'm available on Fridays, we start around 6 on Grow Something with Jeff's channel, and then we normally have the karaoke. Like tonight, once a month we do karaoke. We try to promote the Shed Wars channels. Again, it's going to be on Grow Something with Jeff's channel tonight. We'll be doing bad karaoke on there.
Bad karaoke.
It's not great.
Hey,
StreamYard's not set up to really do karaoke on. It's a podcast, so it automatically filters. No matter what I do, it automatically filters the background noise. So it's really hard to get the speakers and the voice in at the same thing to where it's not drowning out one or the other. So
right.
no matter what we do, it's never going to sound great going through StreamYard with it.
Yeah, but you know what? At least you're doing it.
Oh, we have a blast. I love
Yeah.
it. I
And not
love it.
only that, you can sing, I can't, you know.
I don't know if I can sing. I do not like the way I sing. I enjoy
No, but
singing.
if you listen to everybody, I don't care if they're a professional or what, they say, I don't like the way I sound.
Yeah, and the more my hearing goes, the worse it sounds to me. And I like new songs. I can't sing new songs. I just can't. I can't hear them, and when I sing them, it doesn't sound right. The thank you tool time. Yeah, but y'all look. I want to say this right now. It's great right now the weather we're having, but whenever everyone else north of us, like I said, the Yankees north of I-10, in about 3 months when y'all plants are really kicking and you're just getting ready to get started to be picking tomatoes and your garden and everything, we're gonna be in lava hot summer. I am ahead of y'all, but y'all, I'm gonna be jealous of y'all in about 3 months whenever it's hot over here, and it's you know, it it's all correlated. It all makes. I'm gonna be very jealous. I'll just put it like that. I'm confusing myself.
One thing about it, okay? Summertime comes, everybody starts growing their gardens, getting ready, prepping, whatever, stocking up for the coming winter. So that way, no matter what, they can, you know, make it through the winter.
Correct.
So that's what summer's all about, working for the coming winter.
Gardening done all wrong. I'm not gonna say I specifically sing to my plants, but I'm never outside without my headphones. uh, Even with my phone, I'm hard of hearing to the point now it's hard for me to hear on my phone even wide open. So I always have my headphones in, and I always have it on the Amazon free music, listening to the old classic country. So yeah, I do, and I sing. I sing. People pass in the front yard, they probably think I'm having a stroke trying when I'm trying to dance while I'm singing to myself. It's pretty funny. Hey hedgehogs, how you doing?
Hi, hedgehogs. Hey,
Yeah,
pepper,
Peanut, you're right.
peanut
We have two
pepper.
growing seasons. We do. If we lucky. If we lucky. We most of the time we get an early frost in the fall. This year we didn't get one. But normally we end up with a mid November frost that destroys the tomatoes before we're able to get anything off of them. Um, this year we did. It was really it was nice, and I didn't plant any tomatoes. I just had volunteers pop up, and Colt would come running to the house. I got some tomatoes. Dude was all excited, all excited.
Well, that's a good thing about kids in gardening and starting to comprehend it. And yeah, it's a joy. I mean, even the adults get that way, when they start getting to harvest their food.
It is. This, I can't believe y'all don't hear my accent. I need to get. I'd love to have Pop come sit down and talk because Pop got a thick Cajun accent. He sounds like Troy from Swamp People. He's like Pop. Everybody calls me Big Boy. So he's like, man, Big Boy, what you gonna do today? You gotta go outside over there, and you gotta make sure you got your suckers cut up and everything, boy. He's a trip. He's a trip.
Hi, Vander the land.
Vandal, what's up, brother?
But
But
yeah, no, I have no problem understanding you, and I wouldn't have any problem understanding him either.
he, it's not it's not about understanding more than the accent.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't
yeah,
have any problem understanding the accent.
the he does he has a different accent. The 3 years I had in Ohio really wrecked my accent. Even my kids would laugh when I would call and talk to them towards the end of me working up there. They're like, "Your accent's changing," and it's starting to go back. Um, Sheena and Maya's grandparents, they laugh at Sheena and Maya because their accents are starting to change. So Maya spends enough time up there during the summer and in between in Ohio to where hers isn't quite as bad, but Sheena's is changing.
Um,
Pretty fun.
when I was a kid, I had to go down south in the summertime, come back up here for the wintertime. And the schools would get mad because I'd have I'd pick
Pick
up a
up.
southern down there, come back up here, and it'd take me 6 months to get over it, and then we'd go back down there. So yeah, I was fighting a never-ending battle. So I understand what your girls are going through there. You know.
Oh, I'm not ashamed of my accent, Mr. Robert, at all. I love it. You know, when I was younger, I used to be ashamed of it. I'm not anymore. I had a helicopter pilot. I used to fly with him regular offshore, and he asked me one day where I was from. So, from Iraq, and he's like, "No, like where are you originally from?" And like Erath. At the point, I had been to Texas 5 or 6 times for Astroworld, and I had been to Florida once. You know, I never left Louisiana, and he didn't believe me. But at the time, I was hosting karaoke, and you know, when you're hosting karaoke, you kind of pick up a different voice, and it kind of carried over because I was hosting karaoke 5 nights a week. So it kind of carried over into my actual talking. And yeah, he didn't believe that he could have. He said I'd have put $5,000 down that you was from like Montana or something. I'm like, how you get that?
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I like it when you can talk to somebody and go, okay, your accent, you're from Massachusetts. Your accent, you're from Puerto Rico. You know,
Yeah,
your accent, you're from Switzerland, man. You know, I
we
just,
had some
I
neighbors
like
next
it.
to my mom's that was from Scotland, and they had been here for years, like 10 years. And we were outside. They had just bought the house next door, and they came over and visit. And I mean, they can drink. I will put it. They can drink. At the time, I thought I was a professional. Not even close. The lady left me passed out on the sofa outside under the carport. But Pop tells her like where you from? Well, I'm from Scotland, and she starts talking about the area and everything she's from. And she's like, he says, well, what do y'all speak over there? She's like, well, we speak English. She says, well, when are you gonna start? Because her accent was so thick, it was hard to understand. And she'd been here for like 10 years.
Yeah,
But oh yeah,
they do have, yeah, there are some real heavy accents. And not, another thing is over there in the European countries, when you have a mug of beer here, that ain't nothing. They have huge steins, which is huge. I mean, like, it's like a liter of beer. Okay, their mug of beer. And their beer over there is a lot stronger than the weak
room
stuff
temperature,
that America's allowed to have.
and most
Just
of it's
saying.
room temperature.
Yeah.
It'd be middle of summer. They'd walk across the yard with a 12 pack of beer. Like, you want some? A case of beer because the 12 pack wouldn't make. You don't want a beer? First time I grabbed them, like it's warm. Took a sip. It's hot. Yeah, they put the beer next to the ice box. It's like, oh no, gotta have cold beer.
Yeah, but
God,
you got to remember, over in Europe and that, a lot of times their electricity is up and
yeah,
then it's down for a long time. So
or it's overly expensive.
right, so they learn how to live without it, which means they accept their hot beer. But when they started making beer, there was no refrigerator, so they're drinking it the original way that they used to make it.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get me another cup of coffee.
Okay,
Be back in 2.2.
alrighty. So, what's everybody up to today? Little homestead by the beach. Rem's family. Vander the land. Homestead Aquarius. The Swafford homestead. Anyhow, I am so glad that y'all are here, you know, helping me smooth Danny out because he said he's a little bored.
It's Friday. It's finally Friday.
You know, they always said that the planer wouldn't work very good, but it works out pretty good when we use it on him.
Wait,
It
say
cheers him
again?
up. You said you were a little bored, so
Oh yeah, I'm
you
home
know
alone. It's not a good
when
thing.
you're bored, you got running through the planer.
My plane is broken. Nice rims. Um, I have no idea what to do with basil. I've never grown basil before.
Oh, basil's a cooking spice, dear.
Yeah, but I put them in the
You,
strawberry towers because I had
yep.
some extra spots. They're like 2.5 feet long. The leaves are like 4 inches.
Pick
I've
the
never
leaves. Pick the leaves off.
picked the leaves off.
You can air dry them. Yeah,
Okay.
because the leaves are what you want. You
Okay.
air dry them. If they go to seed, that's fine. Collect those seeds. After they open a little more, and that way you'll. That's how you get your seeds to keep growing it, or you can let them self seed themselves.
Tool time says to pinch off they won't be able to self seed because of the stuff. Because of the little pots they're in.
Right, but
Tool time says to pinch off the buds because they have one of them that it looked like it was starting to go to seed at the top of it. So if I pinch it off, it'll oh, I need to pinch it. I don't want it to bolt.
and that like it was telling you, you air dry the leaves, and then you can crush them up if you want. Put
Okay.
them in your spice jar, and then you can make like Homestead Aquarius says pasta,
Pesto.
or yeah, pesto.
I've
I don't
never
know.
cooked with basil. I don't even have it in the spice rack.
Well, you can learn new recipes
And
because of the simple fact, yeah, you can use basil in a lot of things.
that's I've had people, that wanted some. I'm gonna pick some and offer to have some friends that were asking for some last year. That little towel was actually working way better than I expected it to. Um, Not so much with the strawberries. The strawberries on the north side are doing well. The strawberries on the south side, oh, I think it's the heat that we're already having. They're drying up. They're not doing real well. Um, but that is one of the things I have to do this next 2 weeks. I need to do the build video. I've been putting that off long enough. Hey there,
But
Shawnee.
spices is one thing that um you let everything go to heck in a handbasket. Because spices are what a lot of people are gonna want for their cooking.
Yeah,
Gotta make that rice taste a little better. You gotta make these beans taste a little better. You know,
we're growing a lot more cayenne peppers this year. Cayenne's a big addition to what we eat with. Nothing like Mr. Robert. I mean, Mr. Robert just, I don't see how he tastes his food. He puts so much cayenne pepper on it. He makes cayenne burgers and adds a little bit of beef to them. It seems, but we are growing a lot more cayenne because we do eat a lot of the crushed red pepper and cayenne pepper. We like the red pepper flakes on a lot of things. It has a really good flavor. So
there
that's some,
there's other kinds of peppers that are equal to the cayenne pepper in heat that you can grow too. You
wait,
know.
Jeff sent me. I'm not gonna lie. I was a murderer 2 years in a row with pepper seeds and tomatoes. I did not get a good germination on any of them. But I do have some apple crisp peppers, which is supposed to have a really good flavor. I have one plant, apple crisp, um, and a couple other ones Jeff sent me that I'm really looking forward to. Excuse me, looking forward to trying. Shawnee, my wife would probably love that
Hi,
turkey.
Shawnee.
You put like the turkey ground meat inside of it.
I like how it says a comment there. Food is a place to put cayenne.
That's I'm telling you, he thinks cayenne is a food group.
To a lot of people, it is.
It is. The
You know,
and
it's
a lot of people think that as Cajuns we put stuff really hot and really spicy, and it's not. You go further towards New Orleans, the food's a lot more spicy than it is around here.
It's like the
Um,
paprika peppers. You
see,
know,
I don't like paprika.
there are
Um,
a lot of places.
yeah,
What is it? I want to say Italy, but I'm thinking I'm wrong. But they grow all kinds of paprika,
right.
and it's in everything they eat. You
They
know,
put a lot of paprika around here, and like the local slaughterhouses, they'll have their own seasoned blend that they use to season the meat, and you can buy the meat pre-seasoned for cooking, and they use a lot of paprika because it's not hot. I don't find it has any flavor at all. I find that if you're making a gravy with it, that it gives the gravy kind of a burnt flavor. But
uh,
they use a lot of paprika because it looks like they're using a lot more seasoning with the paprika because they use so much of it.
there's different. There's like Hungarian. There's Mexican and some other. But the smoke is paprika that they just put on a cookie sheet and put it in the oven and heat it up until it browns a little. You know.
Yeah,
Um.
this is like a powdered almost that they sprinkle across the top of everything.
Yep.
Yep,
We used to
exactly.
we used to do paprika on top of deviled eggs. It's just for
Yep,
decoration.
for decoration, and that's what Peanut just put. It's more like a food coloring around here. I guess it's because we do eat a little bit more heat than we think. And, so to where the paprika doesn't have any type of bite. I just don't find it has any flavor at all. Unless you make a gravy with it, then it kind of tastes dark, almost like a burnt. The I shouldn't have had that second cup of coffee
Why?
because this third one right here, this is my pot of coffee right here. My pot will hold three. This cup, 3 cups is a pot of coffee.
I got a 9 cup pot.
We got 12, and that cup will hold 3 cups of that will hold the whole pot.
Then I have another pot that holds 36.
Phew, I
And
like
then
that.
I have another pot. Well, the 36 cup pot is the cowboy coffee pot. And then I have another cup or another pot that holds like twice the cowboy coffee pot, and it's a
Yeah.
thrasher pot.
Phew.
So I got
Little
covered. I got covered for large gatherings.
Oh yes, little homestead by the beach. I don't want to say the Cajun culture is dying. The French speaking in it is kind of falling by the wayside because the generation before me and the generation before that was kind of ashamed of speaking French, and then they used it to gossip, so they didn't teach us. I understand it a little bit, but I don't speak a whole bunch of it. I know phrases and things like that. The biggest thing that's hanging around is the Cajun cooking. The cooking is a big part, and in the Acadiana area, it's a lot different than in the New Orleans area. When Swamp People became popular, all of a sudden New Orleans became Cajun.
I was gonna say, the food is more important than the ability to gossip.
And it is, but it
Yeah,
would also be cool to, keep that going.
right.
Hey, Miss Gail, how you doing? Uh, yeah, it would be nice to be able to. And I try to get my mama and pop to teach Colt, and they don't want no part of it. They don't find that it benefits him. So
Ah, what
and
I don't understand that because they teach, they give you credit in schools if you can speak a foreign language,
yeah,
and even Native Americans would count. So Cajun would count too.
yep. But
Just saying.
it's something in their heads. They almost deem it derogatory. If you speak Cajun French, in my area, it's It just looks like it's a down. People look down
Yeah,
upon.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't understand that stuff. Because it it's not a bad thing.
Well,
Okay.
my grandmother would like. She told me stories when she was in school when they started making them speak English in school.
Uh
They
huh.
would if they caught them speaking French in class or on the playground, they would literally put their arms out and they get 3 licks with the yardstick across their forearms, the tops of their forearms.
Oh
And she
yeah.
said it wasn't playing around either. It was
No,
some.
they were
It was.
real. They were mean about it when they
They were
done it.
mean about it. They didn't
It's
want to
it's
hear them. You know,
it's
there
like
was
the those one schools that they sent the Native American children to. Um, they told them right out, you cannot speak your native languages. You can't practice your native ways. You can't practice your native religion. Nothing. You have to uh, learn English and do what we tell you to, how we tell you to.
yeah. And
So
like Peanuts, they actually kicked people out of school because they couldn't speak English.
yeah,
The schools were in the area we're at. Most of the schools were the teachers were from other areas. They didn't speak French because the, a lot of people didn't go to school, didn't go to college to learn to be teachers and stuff back in those days.
now you want to hear something funny, Danny? And I'm not kidding you one bit. When I was in elementary, they started working with us to learn how to speak French.
Yeah, and
Okay, that was the only language we didn't. How the schools normally teach you Spanish or German. No, our school only had French. Okay, and then in high school, then you could take French classes,
right.
right? So yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't understand it.
They have an immersion program for the younger kids, not at the school Colt goes to, at another school up the road, um, which I don't know why they offer it at that school as opposed to this one, because we would have him in it. They do teach French, and it's more along the lines of Cajun French than regular French. Um, it is. I mean, Rims, to be able to speak it's both languages has got to be amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Um, we had I used to be part of the Bayou Gardner Forum before Mr. Donald passed away. And we had a friend, really good friend. He was always on there. He lived in Australia. He was from France. And the last Bayou Gardner, I mean, it was a big old thing, the Bayou Gardner get together. There was a couple hundred people that showed up, and he came all the way from Australia and visited. And he still spoke French fluently and English. And him and Pop sat back and they talked and talked and talked in French, for hours. It was a really good time. Um,
That's but back I know how the government and that was like
got 12 people
how
in
they
here.
how they were towards the Native Americans,
Yeah.
and that's why they were having a cow when it came to Daniel Boone and them, because they wanted the Native Americans to do
To learn
things
English.
to to do English and learn the quote unquote white man's way. And I'm not being, I'm not saying anything bad or anything, you know. But
Yeah.
then like Daniel Boone and them, they were white people, and they started picking up the Native American ways
Right.
and their customs and their languages, And I'm like, why can't everybody just? I'm sorry, I don't have that. I guess
It's
my
amazing.
ability for understanding people, saying, well, you have to be like us or else you're not. You have to think like us or else you're not. I say hogwash to that.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I've
It,
not,
it's it's amazing to be able to put different cultures together. The great parts of each culture, even in the gardening. To be
yeah,
able to take gardening and see what the people are doing over here. Like Rems is up in Canada, and everybody from all over the world that we're able to see and take stuff from and find what fits us and helps us and move forward with it. Anything can do that.
yeah. I mean, it's like I'm hoping that I can get moved in time so we can still grow our garden this year, because I have a lot of things that I want to grow.
Grow,
And it's
grow and
it's
show.
things it's things that will help us tremendously, you know.
Peanut, the wind over here has been rough, but the stuff in the raised bed's not growing real fast. I did take the time to stake them out and tape them up before I left, tie them up before I went to work. The greenhouse is needing some serious. I'm going to have to hang the strings up and string the plants up in the next, probably by Monday. I'll have to be doing that. Some of them are already kind of leaning over. The It's pretty amazing how well the greenhouse is doing right now, honestly. I put some plants in that, you know, with the roots, they were this tall and they're up to 10 inches already in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's amazing how well it's doing. I haven't broke any plants yet. I did get some wind burn on the peppers. I did get some wind burn on the peppers on the south side when that wind was blowing out of the south of 2 weeks ago.
The hot wind. Yeah.
I don't know if it was hot, but it was kicking. We were like 50 mile an hour for almost 10 hours straight. It was like a tropical storm passing through.
Yeah. Um
It actually blew the door off of one of my greenhouses. Not off, it blew it in the greenhouse. It pushed the door, ripped the hinges out of the greenhouse, and pushed it inside the greenhouse.
well, at least it put it where you can find it.
Yeah,
I mean, dang. But
yeah,
I know what them 50-mile-an-hour winds are like. Those are the kind of winds and stronger we had here all winter. I'm
yep.
like, this is unreal, you know?
I started moving my dragon fruit out today, and I'm probably about 2 weeks late getting them out. I was worried about putting them out too early. I have a bunch of shoots that started and they're, 10, 12 inches long already, but they're the size of a pencil. I'm going to end up having to prune all of them off.
Oh
It's not going
man.
to work well. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? Sheena, go back to your nails.
She- Don't
Oh,
go.
it's the A grade social tomorrow night. So Sheena and Maya went do their daughter number 3, Maya, they went do their nails today so that she can go be all prettied up for the social.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
it's a pretty big deal. The A grade social around here is a pretty big deal.
they don't have those kind of things around here.
They quit it whenever the stuff started 2 years ago, and they're actually it's not a school function anymore. Or this year, it's not going to be a school function. They're doing it off school, but they wanted to do it for the kids because it's been such a long tradition of
Right.
doing it. They don't even have dances anymore after the like after the football games. You used to have dances, school dances, and everything. They don't even do that anymore. Hey, Happy Grand's Garden. Sorry I didn't see you come in.
I was outside, so I didn't see him either.
I was outside.
No, I was. I took
Oh,
a cigarette break.
I got you.
Oh,
Yeah, Sheena's spending my money. I sold my dump trailer. I purchased a dump trailer back in 2013, and I pretty much made my mind up. I'm at the point now in life. I'm not going to be a farmer. Uh, I like doing what I'm doing on the property. I just don't have the motivation and the get up to, build a 5 or 6 acre farm like I wanted 5 or 6 years ago. So I decided I was going to sell my dump trailer, and I started looking at the prices. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, long story short, I ended up being able to sell the trailer. I bought it in 2013. I did the paperwork and sold it today for $3.53, less than I bought it for. Thank you, inflation. It don't
yeah.
make no sense. And the guy was happy. He jumped all over it.
Well, I'm sure he did.
Yeah. He picked me up to go to get the paperwork and stuff done. And he's like, yeah, I was looking at it. He's like, man, they're like $8,000 or $9,000. I'm like, yeah, you're not looking at the same trailers because I was looking at it before I decided to sell, and they're closer to 15 to 18,000 right now, depending where you get them. He just kind of laughed. Yeah, he said you did your homework before you sold it. So, I mean, he got a good deal on it secondhand. I got a good deal on it, so everybody it played out well.
Right.
Back to the basil. We got some strawberries. We probably got about another 15, 20 strawberries. We got to go pick out of the strawberry towers, and it's it's fun. It's getting exciting. It really is right now.
It's
It's,
still cold up here.
it's too
It
cold.
really is.
Yeah.
We
I
had
need.
a dashing of, it's like somebody decided they were going to pretend that the yards were like deviled eggs and sprinkle snow all over.
um, Kenny and Angie at Abundant Acres had the same thing this morning. Somebody else did also. They commented on the on the video this morning I put out that they had some Belly Acres number 3. They had some snow on the ground this morning also.
Yep. Winter's not
Hey,
letting
people,
go.
thanks for stopping by.
But some of the tree leaves are starting to pop open and stuff.
Yeah, we we ended up with the pollen. The pollen right now is ridiculous, just ridiculous. Lewis, man, that's awesome. All that maple syrup. Oh, we can't do anything. We don't have maple trees around here, but they do make a lot of sugar cane. Um, Steamed syrup is kind of like a molasses. I love it. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. Ugh.
They have maple trees around here, but you to make maple syrup you use a certain tree.
Certain trees.
A certain type of maple tree.
Right. Yeah, we can't grow those trees over here. The maples that do it.
But
Man, everybody's getting some snow.
if
That
if I if I get my way, I'm gonna and everybody can think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna grow some sugar beets.
sugar beets are good. I
Yeah.
love them.
Um,
It's
you can cook them down and you
make
make
sugar with
make
them.
your own sugar.
Yep.
But you can also take those things and use them in a lot of different ways too.
Yep. I tried growing beets this year, and I didn't stick with the weeding. The grass just took over with them, and you could see the grass in the. Oof, my mind's stuck. The grass in the garlic. I mean, my garlic is not doing well because of the grass, but just trying to get things done.
You
That's
you want to hear something funny? Last fall, and I started laughing because um I sent Homestead Aquarius a letter, told him what was going on with this, and he's like, okay, he says, but grow something, grow food this summer no matter what. And I went outside and I looked for craps and giggles. I took a garlic bulb and broke it down, and put the each piece of the bulb in a different coffee can. And I went out there this earlier, this month and looked down and went, I think you guys are dead. I think you guys. Oh, look at here, we got one live.
garlic green.
So
Got
if one grows, I didn't waste my time because I at least got back the garlic that I planted a
exactly.
bulb. You know, it's just yeah.
I need to do my video for Maggie at Q Kitchen and Beyond for my Shed Wars Junior. Because we're in such a different growing area, I decided to send her the 5 gallon bucket, and we're gonna do lettuce. We're gonna grow hydroponic lettuce together.
Awesome.
Gonna try to do a couple things that I might have time. Some beans I might have time to grow with her, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to grow something step by step with her. And so I went ahead and I sent the bucket and the fertilizer, everything she needs except for the seeds. I ended up forgetting about the seeds. I
Oh
forgot
no.
them over here. I was in a rush to send everything. So,
Well,
but
when
we're
you
gonna grow
if you do send her the seeds, just don't put jelly beans in.
the jelly beans. That was funny. That was funny. No, I'm not gonna send jelly beans to her. No, I might send them to them if they want to. If they want to give it a shot. We still have a box of them left over that aren't open. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I want to, you know, you get people that are dead set on, you have to test pH, you have to do this, you have to do that. Then you have other people that, you just put the water from your sink, let it set for 24 hours, then, to get the chlorine and stuff to evaporate out of it. Then you put your fertilizer in it, you put your plants in it, and you let it grow.
Okay. If I wanted to go through all that hassle, I'd just run it through my purifier, you know.
Well, it's
And then you could put your fertilizer in it and put your seed or whatever,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, it's more along the lines of, you know, if if you test your pH and everything, say you end up with if you do everything perfect, you might end up with a head of lettuce about, say, a pound and a quarter. Um, if you don't, if you just use what you have, but follow the same steps, you might end up with a pound. You might end up with a pound and a quarter, but you might have some browning on the edges of the leaves. It won't be a perfectly beautiful head of lettuce, but you can still grow a very tasty head of lettuce with it.
We didn't grow lettuce the
Leaf.
like yeah, we didn't grow the ball lettuce. We grew leaf lettuce. So, yeah, it worked out pretty good for us. We didn't have any seeds for ball lettuce. We do now, but we didn't last year. So I understand what you're talking about. And we were laughing because we had one little rabbit. We called him Pacer. He'd go pace back and forth, and then all of a sudden he'd go right for the lettuce row, and he'd pick out one leaf. And if he hit a bitter piece on that leaf, he buried it.
He
And
didn't
then he'd
like
go
it.
back. Yeah, he'd bury that piece, and he'd go back and get another one. Not as big, but he'd only eat like one or two, and that was it. He'd walk away.
Not enough of it.
Yep. He couldn't
We
eat the whole row of lettuce.
growing lettuce outside over here it doesn't work well. I mean, you can get some decent lettuce, but it doesn't. Hey, Belly
Hey,
Acres,
Bell
how you doing?
Acres.
It doesn't grow well outside, and we're actually thinking about putting up another greenhouse just to grow lettuce because we've had so many people that actually understand, hydroponics and hydroponics lettuce, and they've gotten it before and tasted it. They're wanting us to grow lettuce during the wintertime or the fall, up into the spring before it gets too hot. So we're kind of talking about putting up another small greenhouse, nothing big, um, to be able to grow lettuce. And
Right.
it's kind of back and forth. I have everything I need, the pipe and stuff to build my own greenhouse. Um, to be able to do it, it would probably end up being like 16, 18 by 20, 20, 25. I have just enough room to be able to do that. I have to haul in more dirt and a few things, but I need to get my blackberries under control. They're doing well. I need to get my yard under control. So it's not going to be right now if it does happen. I'll say it like that.
Well, that's okay.
But it is something we're looking into.
Right.
I enjoy it. I don't like buying lettuce from the store because of the prices. I just
Right.
can't see spending, $4 or $5 for a head of lettuce. We try to spend, when we cook supper, we spend less than $4 to feed four people. Um, so $4 for a head of lettuce that's going to be eaten with supper. I just can't see spending that.
Yeah, I know how you feel on that one.
We eat a lot of rice, a lot of rice.
But
So, uh,
that's one thing about growing gardens. You can always try new things. You know.
I've grown them before. We use an NFT system. Basically, you use they have other things you can use. You can buy the proper stuff, but I used uh, the downspouts, PVC downspouts,
Mhm.
and I mean we did amazing. Made some pound and a half, 2 pound heads of leaf lettuce, and they were beautiful. Tasted great. Um, it really was. Um, Easy and amazing. It just I always ended up not having it. It is time consuming. That is a little bit more time consuming for the most part than the tomatoes. So, if we do decide to do that, it's going to have to be after we're finished building everything. Everything has to be working like it needs to before we do that.
You can laugh at me. I don't test my soil or anything. I just put my stuff in the garden because, not to be religious or anything, but I have an agreement with God. I put it in the ground, He waters it, and it grows.
Yeah.
Then I harvest, and I'm happy. Some years you get a lot, some
I mean,
years you don't get a lot, but that's okay because I'm still getting something,
right,
you
right.
know.
The belly acres. The issue I'm having right now is I didn't make a really good bed to start with. I need to. I put some pine needles around the base to try to help keep the grass and stuff out through the wintertime. And it kind of did its job. I need to go back in. I'm going to remove the pine needles, and I want to put some more dirt around the base of them. They don't quite have enough dirt. The rain and kind of wash stuff out. So I'm going to go back in, put a little bit more dirt around the base of them. Um, Hopefully that the roots don't dig deep into blackberries. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do well with them like that. Then we're going to actually take the pine needles and grind them up, or not grind them up, but pass over them with the lawnmower a couple times and then put them back around the plants. We have a friend that has a bunch of pine needles or pine trees that I'm going to do some work for her. And she said we could pick up the pine needles we want off the back of her property after I get that done. So we'll be taking care of that and putting more on. I love having pine needles around my blackberries. They work great around here. I know other people have said that pine needles around blackberries don't work, but I've always had great.
Happy Grand says that they are growing leaf lettuce and kale in South Carolina,
Yeah,
but they're cooler in the spring than
yeah.
Louisiana.
The issue we have is we're in the 40s right now, and we're up into the 80s. We're in the 40s for the low at night, but we're up in the mid 80s. And we've been like that for almost 3 weeks. We did get a few days in between where we were somewheres around 40s, the high 30s, low 40s at night, and in the 50s. But it wasn't really long enough to be able to grow. We basically, we have 2 weeks of winter, and then it's back into spring, and the spring just gets hot. Every time
Y-
we've tried to grow the lettuce outside, it just goes to seed fast.
your nighttime low is our daytime high.
Exactly, exactly. You know, and it's humid right now also, so it really, the 84, we got up to 84 yesterday, and it was hot. It really was with the humidity.
Yeah, you guys are doing a Arizona type temperature
But with
out there,
humid, we have humidity that Arizona doesn't have.
right?
You
Theirs
know,
is more of a dry
right?
humidity.
Yeah,
Yours is a moist humidity.
yeah,
Your humidity is like our humidity up here.
yep. Belly acres, pine is terrible for tomatoes and cucumbers because the the soil I have in my raised bed is probably 30% sand, 40% pine needle, not pine needles, but pine shavings, pine fines, they called it. And then the rest of it is rice hulls. And it's not working well at all for it. We're going to be amending again very soon, hopefully, with some old used hay from hopefully with the hay from the cow fields. I got a cousin that just piles it up for the cows, and the cows walk on it and poop in it and pee in it, and it's been sitting out all year. He got it piled up, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a trailer load or two from him and fill
Yeah,
in. We're
you
not gonna take it out, but we're gonna put stuff around.
you want some of the old stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to
You
burn
don't
my
want
stuff.
none of the fresh stuff, man. That'll burn your stuff up.
At the point it is right now, it really doesn't matter if I burn it because it's not growing. Like honestly, my cucumbers are 3 weeks, and the 3 weeks since the seeds are popped, and they're not even 2 inches tall. It's just
Okay, so when you're doing karaoke tonight, you go out to your garden area and you start doing your songs out there. Go ahead and laugh at me, because your vibrations from your voice and singing, it will get your plants in a happy mood. They'll start growing. It's true.
no, you could be right because uh, I'm always happy in the greenhouse because they do so well. And then when I go in the back by the raised beds, I cuss them.
Well,
So
go out and sing to the raised beds too,
yeah.
you know, and it'll help your plants feel better and feel loved. And then they'll go, here we are, Danny and Shinna. Ta da!
Happy Grand's Garden. I have not buried any fish under the crops. I live in town, and they frown upon that bad. Um, if it smells I started composting some stuff a while back, and the neighbors are nice enough. Um, when I do the karaoke, they don't fuss. They'll actually sit outside and listen. Um, there's different things. So when they kind of fussed about the smell from the compost, I quit doing it. I try to stay happy with all my neighbors.
Yeah. And
And
yet at the same time that they're complaining, you're going,
they don't complain.
you're screwing me over. I'm making my dirt.
I don't want to say that they complain. They just, ooh, it kind of, and it did. It was funky. It was some sugarcane compost that I was trying to break down to be able to have it. Um, but I didn't even have to pick it up. It ended up flooding about 3 weeks later, and it all washed away. And that's the bad thing. I don't have high ground to be able to compost much.
Nope,
Um,
Mother Nature said, hey, they
yep,
want to complain about it? I'm taking it back. Toosh. There, Danny, I cleaned it up for you.
yep. The lime does cover the smell, but you're right. It masks it. It doesn't when the lime gets absorbed. It helps to a point, but then you end up killing everything that's happening with the microorganisms and everything because you have to over lime the stuff to keep the smell out with what I was doing. Exactly, Peanut. I, I've been using Perlite and adding it around. I actually put a little bit for the blackberries in the front yard when I tilled it in, and it does seem to be helping. Um, the organic matter, putting organic matter in the ground really helps. It's out at the property. It's amazing how the 3 years I grew out there on that 1 acre, we kept adding sawdust and anything we can get, leaves. Excuse me, I would just till it in,
Yep.
and it's amazing how well it is right now. We're not growing in it, but it is amazing how well it works in that soil, how much it helps. It doesn't take long for it to go away, but it's been
No.
3 years, and you walk on it, and it's soft, and the grass grows well. You threw some tomatoes out there, and the tomatoes got like 5 feet. Just some old rotten tomatoes. It just took off.
Yep. When you've got good ground, it makes a difference in that stuff. That's all fertilizer. I don't care if it's their leaf or if it's sawdust, you know.
Belly Acres, we do have chickens, and we're going to be hopefully getting some more soon. Um, I'm actually trying to find. We can't find people around here that use the baled hay, the small bales. They use the big round bales, and I have a few friends. I'm hoping to be able to get a couple of the 2 to 3 year old bales that are no more good for the cows to eat. If I'm able to get that, we're going to put it down in the chicken coops. Let the chickens break it up to where I can use it next year in the raised beds. I would much rather have the chickens beat it up and it works good for the chickens to be able to go through it. Then I'll break it up and put it in the raised beds as opposed to going from the cows and everything. Yep. The chicken poop will make it. The chickens will break it down. They'll scratch it. They'll get the worms in it. It'll be basically we'll be helping each other with the chickens. Doing it.
Yep.
The that's why after the big round bales are out in the after a year they try not to use them. I'd rather have one that's 2 years old because it's already started to break down. But the hay does mold. We don't have mold. We don't have any straw around here for us to be able to get. But putting it out and after a couple of rains, it'll if it's packed tight enough in the wrap, we don't have any issues with the mold. But the chickens do they go through it fast. It doesn't really have time to mold. We're not gonna leave it piled up. I'm gonna actually spread it out through the chicken yard for them to break it down and get all that done. Yeah, the mold will make the chicken sick fast. I've got some trees I got to cut down. We're adding on to the chicken runs. It's the more I talk and stuff comes up, the more stuff I remember we got to do. We're adding on to the chicken run, the chicken coop. We're going to come out, follow the house, going around. We're going to basically a little bit more than double the size of what we have now, give them a little bit more grass. To also be able to, if I can't find any hay, we're going to put I got some grass seed. We're going to put the grass seed out, let it grow for a couple of weeks, and then we'll put them back and forth to chickens. Let them eat the grass in one side and go to the other side, back and forth.
That's how you do it, though. You keep them in fresh grass that way.
It's some ryegrass too, so it should grow pretty fast. Summer rye, it should grow pretty fast around here. Hopefully, it outpaces the weeds. Last year we had way more weeds in the chicken coop than anything else. But the weeds come from we bought some. I was trying to make some fodder for the chickens, so I bought some bird feed, and it didn't work well with the fodder. A lot of the seeds wouldn't sprout, so we started feeding it to the chickens. Well, the issues we had was when they started pooping, they started putting seeds in there, weed seeds.
Yeah, well, that's when you get a duck or two.
We got the ducks, and the ducks didn't.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
right. You
guess
do have
yeah, we
two
had two
ducks.
ducks, and they didn't. They wouldn't mess with it. I,
Usually the ducks will eat the weeds.
yeah, it might have been too much. But honestly, um, when I left to go to work, I had weed eated between the greenhouses and taken almost all the weeds out of the greenhouses. And 2 weeks later, I come back. I mean, the walkway's pretty green between the greenhouses now. The grass is just crazy. We're back to the point now. We'll be cutting grass once a week probably for the next 2 months, and then we'll be twice a week for the rest of the summer. It just don't stop.
I mean, the chickens are a multi-purpose situation in themselves because you get eggs, you get meat, you know.
Yeah, and we went to the store today, like we were talking about earlier. We went to the store. You couldn't get a dozen of eggs at the store for under $3.75 a dozen. The eggs that were 99 cents 4 months ago are $3.50 a dozen right now. It's crazy. We have people calling us, that bought tomatoes. Hey, you're still selling eggs? No, we're not making many right now.
Right.
But it's
And then you add in the cost for feed.
yeah. Feed hadn't gone up that much over here yet. It's only gone up about $1.50 a bag.
Oh,
So
that
it's
ain't
not
bad.
horrible. It's not great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not horrible.
Right.
We could sell the eggs at $2.50 a dozen, and keep a dozen, sell a dozen, and pay for the feed.
Right.
And if it gets too expensive, we'll feed them tomatoes out the greenhouse.
Exactly. I mean, there are other ways to feed your animals.
Yeah,
You can grow stuff in the garden. that you might not like, but grow. Why? Because it'll feed your animals.
And like I said, we're having issues with the raised beds right now. We're actually going to be putting. I'm going to be passing the tiller, but for sure before I have to go back to work. I'll be passing the tiller, and we're probably going to put up a 40-foot section of cucumbers in the front yard. I have the fence and everything to put up, but we're going to be putting that up because we want cucumbers. I want a lot more cucumbers than I ended up with last year, and it just don't look like we're going to have any luck with them in the raised beds this year. So we're going to go back outside and get it done.
So, do you want hamburger slices, dill relish, um, bread and butter, gherkins,
Don't
cultures?
take don't take this wrong. Um, if you're talking about pickles, pickles are the food of the devil. I do not like pickles.
Well,
I like cucumbers. I do not eat pickles. And
right.
Sheena will tell you. I've said that we almost 11 years we've been together, and yeah, I do not. And I tell that to everybody. Like, what kind of pickles you like? I don't like pickles. That's the food of the devil. um, Happy Grand's Garden. I have to grow the cucumbers vertically because of the amount of rain we get here. It's either in a drought or a
Water's deep.
deluge. So we grow them vertically to where they don't rot. The plants will have some serious issues if we try growing them on the ground.
I
I
like I
can't,
like I like a cucumber, you know, just and started wolfing it down.
and that's what I do. We'll go outside and colt. I when we have cucumbers and tomatoes, I have to carry a separate pocket knife because I don't like using um, my work knife that I use for everything else to cut vegetables and stuff for cold. But he would just bring me a tomato here, cut that. So I got my knife. I cut the tomatoes and the cucumbers, and he wolfs it down while we outside.
Yeah.
Um, and it's amazing. It really is.
You put a cucumber in the refrigerator, you get it nice and cold,
Mm-mm.
and then you cut it in half, and you go outside on a hot day, you're gonna eat that puppy and it'll keep you cool.
I like everything room temperature. Room temperature. Oh my, yeah. Anything you add bacon with belly acres is amazing. I mean, I love bacon. Um, I'm not a fan of vinegar. That's why I'm not, my I don't like pickled stuff. I'm not a fan of bacon. Oh, bacon. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm losing it. I'm not a fan of vinegar. Even I love uh oh my, I lost my train of thought. uh I love beets. I love beets. Pickled beets. I love pickled beets, but I like them pickled in water, sweet pickle. I'm not a fan. I'll eat them out of the can, but I'd rather that's the only thing I'll eat that's pickled out of the cans. The just no, I don't like sour at all.
Well, Danny, I suppose I should get off so somebody else can come up or we'll come
We can
up
have
or
up to 4 people. You don't have to leave. If you have something else, that's fine, but you don't have to leave.
well, I'm starting to get a cough attack from
Okay.
draining your water.
Well, thank you so much for coming up. I enjoyed it. I always
And
enjoy talking with you.
I know, honey. And here's another thing. Just because I ain't on here don't mean I'm A, not listening,
I
or
know.
B, not in the chat room, or, it's just if I'm in the chat room, I can give you a hard time about not know a lot better.
That's nothing. I
You
don't
can't reach out and go, think, so
honest,
easy.
honestly to have anybody in the chat room watching. It still amazes me. I don't expect anyone. You know, to watch the videos. I'll make special time. If you pick it up, thank you. If you don't have time, it's not a big deal. I love the gardening community. It is amazing. It really is.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, I don't expect anyone to. I don't expect anyone to watch this. I really, it amazes me. Like we got 10 people. It amazes me that we have anyone in here watching.
Yeah,
Still,
but see, you give a lot of information out,
and
and the way you guys grow things down there in Louisiana, I can't do that up here, you know. But
and
it's neat to learn how there are other options, other ways of doing things.
it is. And the raised beds was something that I'd never seen anyone around here doing. And a lot of the stuff that I went ahead and learned and tried to implement in what I have came from people in other areas. Let me see. So,
So don't give up on that. Hi Jeff, how you doing, hon?
Good, good. How are you?
Pretty good. I hear you're gonna have some uh
karaoke.
kicking, healing, jumping, and squealing time tonight.
That's what I'm told. Yeah.
Jeff's going to be singing tonight.
That's funny. Oh, say, can you see? That's
Heck
it.
yeah. Well,
Hey,
was
that's
it.
better than I can do. I'm serious. You can get up high. I get down low.
me too.
So anyhow, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm still gonna be listening. I'm
Thank you.
gonna be in the chat room. It's been great,
Thank you. I
but
really
I need to get up
appreciate
and move around. You know.
Really
Um.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, honey. Anytime, you know that.
Yep. Have a
And I'll see you later, Jeff.
You take care.
You
yeah.
too.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Eric, how's it
Hey,
going,
Eric.
brother?
How you doing, Eric?
Rims. It starts at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern on Grow Something.
Grow something.
Grow that. I'm surprised we did an hour and a half. We still got 10 people in here.
Yeah.
We had as much as 13.
They come just to see what you're gonna say. You never know.
Never know. Never know. 10.
10 p.m. your time. Where are you?
He's in Canadiana.
Canadiana. That's central, ain't it?
Depends what part of Canadiana. It's oh man. Sounds good in an hour. So we'll go check you out, Rims. We'll go over there and check you.
Hi, Swafford Homestead. How are you?
Rims is
Ellie
in New
Acres.
Brunswick, Canadian. Canadian, almost said
Canadiana. Canadiana. So I haven't started none of my seeds yet.
That's a shame, Jeff.
It is.
You got
My-
your steak mixed?
My dirt's ready.
Your dirt ready?
Yeah, I sanitized my dirt. Did you see my video?
Not yet.
I had some nice music playing through it. It was a little different kind of video. I wasn't talking much. I did a little talking in the beginning, and then I did the whole process with music playing, and then I talked a little at the end. So it was a bit different.
I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet, honestly. I'm so far behind on videos. You
That's
know
all right.
some of the stuff I was going through the last 2 weeks at work with the inspection and everything. I talked to you a little bit.
Yeah.
I can.
What's my weather? Today it's actually 54 and was decent outside. Next week we're supposed to get snow. Not a lot, but we're supposed to get wintry type weather again, like middle to end of next week.
Happy Grand's Garden. I bet you that's a mix. Cajun and New York accents.
Right. Oh my God, I must be on a live. My dogs want to go outside.
No way, huh?
See my shirt? See my shirt?
The cockroach ball?
Yeah.
Sweet talking is dirt. Hey, if it works, I'm gonna have to be doing that next year too.
What was that?
She said, what's she up to now? Miss JT said that it was a very romantic video about doing his soil. Jeff was sweet talking his dirt.
Yeah. I don't think that was very romantic. I'm pouring boiling water on it.
Hey,
I don't know where that's romantic to me.
Man, Eric said it was sleeting. Kenny and Angie said that it was snowing over there.
Yeah, there's a big low that came down. It's going right across the whole center of the country.
It needs to stay the hell up there.
Right now, it's staying north of I-10
Yeah. Stupid sleet.
until we get everybody turning their fans on.
You better stop, Jeff. Don't even joke about that. I'm gonna give you 4 more months of winter.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
Well, if it keeps going this way, we're gonna get it anyways.
Well, you send me some cold weather again with your fans, I'm gonna get my Canadiana cousins to turn their fans on and keep blowing you for another 3 or 4 months.
I think they already turned it on trying to get rid of it.
That's good. That's for you getting me last year with it.
I'm gonna have to help and turn it on
Sniffy
too.
Roots. We do not have root sniffing T-shirts.
No.
I need to look into that. I gotta send hats out, and I got Jeff shirts I gotta make this week, and my hat attachment for my press isn't right. It's a mess. I think I got a fix for it.
Robert said he just needs to get a fix and a sniff a root. Don't worry, I always have roots that I can sniff. There's some down in the basement right now.
Get it?
Yes, it has, Eric. April has been just as bad, if not worse, than March.
The plants are liking it over here. They like that cool weather at night and that warm weather during the day.
If we got warm weather during the day, they'd probably be happy too, but we're not.
Jeff, we're going to have some tomatoes in about 2 weeks.
I know. I'm going to put my order in now so you can send them to me.
Yeah, I'm going to send you an empty box.
Oh, a box full of tomatoes so I can have some. I'm tired of waiting.
An empty box. I am excited. I went back and read some more about those watermelon tomato seeds, and I'm really excited about them.
They sound really good.
Said it tastes like watermelon.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got 2 buckets. I was going to put some stuff in. I'm like, as soon as I get them, I'm going to start them and throw them out there. It's hard to tell. It doesn't say if it's a determinate or an indeterminate.
Indeterminate.
It is an indeterminate?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, let me hold on. I think I have the package in here. Yep. So here's what it looks like. Since you only got the seeds, here's what the watermelon. Oh, you looked on the website.
Yeah, I went looking on.
Yeah, it says indeterminate, a super sweet 1800s heirloom that has a flavor and color that is reminiscent of watermelon. The medium to large beefsteak weighs about 1 to 2 pounds each, and are born in profusion on 4 to 5 foot plants. Super prolific, easy to grow, and mighty fine flavor. Now, you can't go wrong with a description like that, right?
No, I am really looking forward to it.
And they didn't send a whole lot of seeds either.
No, they talk. What I read is like 10 seeds maximum.
No, there's more than that because I sent you some. I think I sent some to Abundant Acres because I had to send them something, and I still have probably about 20 seeds in here.
Eric, you're going to enjoy that master blend. So you had about 20 seeds?
I think I got about 20 seeds here, and I sent you guys probably each about 10. So yeah, they should be good. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna probably put one of them in a bucket hopefully they'll grow in my 5-gallon bucket. Oh, I measured my raised bed, so I have about 91 square feet of raised bed space this year.
That's not bad.
So that's half
of what you had.
Yeah.
I just got a text. We might have a special guest tonight on the karaoke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Might. I'm not
Might.
sure yet.
Okay.
She's been talking about it, but I don't want to throw her name out there and she don't show up. So.
Okay. But yeah, so it's half of what I had last year, and I'll have the same amount of buckets. I haven't figured out how many square feet of buckets I have yet, but
1 bucket's a square foot.
I was
If
gonna
it's
say
a
I think
5-gallon bucket. Yeah, if it's a 5-gallon bucket, 1 bucket's a square foot.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have about 5 or 6 of those. So I'm thinking I'll have about 100 square feet total.
Send it to Mr. Robert in millimeters.
Yeah, so I'll probably have about 100 square feet to grow in this year.
What kind of tomatoes you have going on, Belly Acres? The Little Piece of Heaven Farms said he started his tomatoes a little bit early. They're all like 2 feet tall, and he's not ready to plant it yet outside. But yeah,
I'm just afraid. I mean, normally I would have started my seeds, but normally we would not be having snowy weather next week. So I don't know if our last frost date is just like way out there now, or what the deal's going to be.
Right. Eric, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea because you never know what's going to happen. The methane gas coming out of DC.
Right.
All the hot air, huh?
Yeah. Well, you think it would warm it up, not make it cold?
I think a blindfold root sniffing challenge would be fun. Well, I'm not sure if you know all the backstory behind the root sniffing. Last year for the secret seeds, I sent Jeff some seeds, and he actually smelled them, and that's what started it all. And he figured out that it was a type of cucumber. So that's what started all the root sniffing stuff, and it actually turned into a lot more and really funny. You know, it's amazing what catches on and what catches fire with certain things. And root sniffing really took off, and it carried over into this year's Shed Wars.
And I do have to say that no matter what they say, Mr. Robert, it was not a rule until
I got
after
I got you back. I'm your protector, Jeff. Just like Cosmic Cultivators, I'm here to protect y'all. Do not put up with that.
I broke a rule that did not exist.
If you're getting it for $16.99 a bag, you're doing good, Eric. I just paid $27 a bag for triple 13.
Root sniffing is forbidden, Homestead Aquarius said. That's why every video this year for Shed Wars has to have some kind of sniffing in it.
Yeah, you need to show them how not to do it. If you're going to do it, you have to show them how not to get addicted to it.
Right.
Wow, Rims, that's amazing. I started tomato seeds on top of tomato seeds. I started close to 400 tomato seeds, big beef only. And I ended up with just enough. Pop had 25, and I was under 100 with the plant, under 100 plants. Less than a third of them, I didn't do well with them at all. Honestly, if you have tomatoes that are flowering, break the flowers off, you're not going to have any issues with them. About a week before you're ready to put them outside, lay them on their side and let them start to turn and bury them. I know a lot of people say that the deeper you bury them, the more roots you get off of it. And that's true to a point, but if you're going to bury them 18 inches down, what happens, you can find it on YouTube. I found videos, and Jeff, there's videos out there. If you lay them on their side, they'll actually make roots all along the stem. You know, when you put them in the dirt, if you bury them down deep, there's a certain point where the bottom roots will grow and you'll get a few roots in between. Then you'll start with another ball of roots at the top. So you kind of keep that in mind. If you want to do an experiment, try laying down a couple of them when you put them in the dirt, you know, let them go at an angle and put them up. And it really will make a big difference with it. I mean, if you got a foot and a half of soil where you have roots, or if you bury them a foot and a half deep and then you only have a small piece of roots at the bottom and another set of roots at the top, the more roots you can get, the better off you are.
You know, tomatoes are actually a vine. So if you didn't plant them standing up and you planted them laying down, they would grow across the ground and start rooting all along where the vine was touching the ground.
They grow up and then they grow out because they're trying to reach the sun. But they'll grow up and then they'll reach, they reach and they'll hump. And every time they hump, every time they touch the ground, like you say, they make roots.
Yeah, but you don't even have to. You could lay them on the ground and they would grow right along the ground.
Yep. The secret seed. Oh yeah. Have you figured out what it is yet, Rims? I got one of my secret seeds in. I need to do a video for it. And then Jeff sending me the other one. I'm going to have to smell the roots on them to see what they are. One of them I got to put up a trellis.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm pretty sure I know what it is because Google's amazing. But I'm going to hold off on it. Cherokee purple. I'm doing Cherokee purples in the greenhouse. This year, I think I have 3 plants of Cherokee purple. Didn't plant any brand new. I don't think I have any brand new wines. I do not have money makers. We have 2 different types or 3 different types of cherries. We have super sweet 100s, sun gold, and black cherry. And we're really looking forward to tasting the black cherry and the sun golds. We want to try to get we have the pears, the pear, yellow pear out in the raised beds. They're not doing well. I might actually pull one of them out and put it out in the greenhouse so that I can get some seeds off of it and get a good flavor taste off of it. We're trying to get a little more color and variety into the tomatoes we're doing.
You talk about cherry tomatoes?
Well, just any type, like the Cherokee purples. I want to try the Cherokee purples. But the black cherry is about the size, should be about the size of a plum, a little bit smaller than a plum. I've had a couple friends that grew them, and they really love the taste of them. No, the sun gold is a indeterminate. All the cherries that I grow, or all the cherries I'm growing, are indeterminate types.
You got the ones I sent you too. That pink bumblebee.
Pink bumblebee also, yeah. Yep. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I have some seeds also that I started from I saved from some greenhouse tomatoes that I purchased at the store. I think whenever I start those watermelon tomato seeds, I'm thinking about starting a couple of those. I have some of the peppers that I started didn't do well. So I think I'm going to start a couple of the seeds and throw them in there just to see what they taste like and how they do. Even if I can't let them grow all summer, if I can get a few tomatoes off of them, see what kind of size they put out and the flavor of them. Colt loved them. I was really surprised the flavor of them for being a store-bought tomato. The sun gold right now is putting out about 10 flowers per truss. I think as the plant gets a little bit bigger, they might be putting out a few more. The Jet Stars, Pop has the Jet Stars. He planted one row big beef and 1 row of Jet Stars in the greenhouse. He has 1 Jet Star plant that has 23 flowers on it right now.
Wow.
So they're supposed to make about anywhere from a 10 to 14 ounce tomato, and if we can get 8 to 10 tomatoes off of a trust at 10, 12 ounces, that's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. What is she up to now? Says the number for Sniffing Anonymous isn't an 800 number. No, we need to make money.
Yeah. We all broke. It don't cost much. Just $5 a month. Just $5 a month, and you can support the swamp rat and the cockroach in Shed Wars.
Right.
Oh, we'll give it to, let's say, another 20 minutes, and we'll shut it down. I need to go check the greenhouse. I went outside this morning, and one of the tubers had fallen out, and it watered the floor real good.
Nice. Yeah, what is it? 6 o'clock now. So you want to do? Well, you want to go live an hour before that again, or you want to just wait till?
Let's see. Rims is doing his at 7, or if you 7 o'clock your time, Rims is doing his live stream. So we'll jump across to that, see, and kind of don't want to step on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We might be able to get a few more people in the karaoke. Go visit over there too.
There you go.
The greenhouses, Belly Acres, Jilly, you will love. If you get a greenhouse, you will love it, and you will hate it.
You will hate it.
You will. In the area you're at, it's amazing to be able to get stuff started, but you're going to have to find some way to heat it. A good rule of thumb, if you have a greenhouse, it basically gives you one more zone lower. So if you're in zone 4, it'd be basically like you're growing in zone 5 with the greenhouse. But if you get down to 30 degrees outside, your greenhouse will get to 30 degrees inside. So you do have to have it will help with the frost on the plants, but it will not stop them from dying.
I just went to subscribe to Rems. I wasn't subscribed to Rem's channel.
I think I'm subscribed to all the Shed Wars channels on this one and on the Mrs. Cajun Hydroponics. I went ahead and did that because it's a lot easier when I have time to go on that one and watch the videos to be able to keep track, because I have so many other channels on this one that I follow that it's it's hard. It's hard to keep
that. Look up garden peach tomatoes from Eric. They said they're really good.
I haven't. I missed that.
Garden peach.
I need to quit looking up. I need to stop looking up tomatoes. Sheena's about to get upset.
Root staffing is going to cost you. I was going to let it go. Now I have to make a video, and lucky enough, I needed both of you on the panel. Now I have that.
Mr. Robert, you better be nice to me. I'm telling you, don't get me mad. You wouldn't like it when I'm angry.
He turns into that pelican on steroids there.
A wood burner is nice. It really is. It doesn't take a whole bunch just to keep the frost off of them. We had a little bitty heater in the greenhouse out of the property, and it kept everything alive. It wasn't growing well at night, but it kept everything alive. We had a little. It was an electric heater that we pulled out of a 12 by 60 trailer house, and it did. The Marshall. Don't start with the Marshall. The Marshall needs to go play.
Robert's acting like the marshal.
Yeah. He's like, oh, look at me. He's not around, so I'm going to poke my chest out.
I can just picture it. I don't know. I'm laughing. I picture it in my head. I'm laughing.
I think Brandywine's, I mean, they're not a determinant, but if you let them bush out and don't cut the suckers off of them, they'll work like a determinant. But the Brandywine is like, what, a 65-day tomato?
Is it?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. It's really, really fast to producing tomatoes.
I have old seeds, I think, for one called the Brandy Fred. It's a dwarf Brandywine tomato.
Really?
Yeah.
That's Happy Grand's Garden. That's what you need to look into. If you don't mind some of the smaller tomatoes, some of the dwarf tomatoes, if you can really knock some out like that. They do like the tumbling toms and some of that. It really works.
Well, even those lemon ice tomatoes that I grow, those yellow ones, they're tennis ball sized tomatoes.
And it's a dwarf?
It's a dwarf. It only grows like 3-4 feet tall. But it's a full size plant, but it just grows. It's short.
Right. Lewis, you right, Lewis. Welcome back, Peanut.
I don't remember the website, Happy Grand. There was it was called Tomato Fest. I'm gonna look it up.
I purchased a whole bunch of tumbling tom seeds, and I really need to get into them this year. I want to try them out in the strawberry tower.
Yeah, it's called tomatofest.com. They have a whole bunch of heirloom seeds. There's a thing on there called the Dwarf Tomato Project. And there's 30 rare varieties of dwarf tomatoes. There's the Brandy Fred Chocolate Lightning.
Chocolate Lightning sounds good.
Dwarf Almondine.
Dang.
There's a Dwarf Barrel Beauty, which is a green tomato. A Beauty King. Audrey's Love. There's a lot of them. And normally they only grow about 3 to 4 feet tall, and some of them can put out close to a pound sized tomatoes. Oh, that's good, Eric. You got 3 of those dwarfs started. That's good. You'll have to save some seeds.
Hey, Raindrops. I'm getting tired of talking. I'm gonna have to take a nap before the karaoke. I lie. I had to drink a pot of coffee. Yes,
Right,
they
you're
are.
gonna be sleeping for a day.
I've been up since I woke up this morning, looked at the clock, and it was bright. Got up, put the coffee on. Hey there, Garden Josh. Put the coffee on. Went sat outside on the porch for a few minutes.
How you doing, my raindrop life? I didn't say hi.
Oh,
I was looking at tomatoes.
Went sit on the porch for a few minutes. I heard the coffee beep. Came back in the house, fixed my cup of coffee. Yeah, 2:45. I thought it was 4:50, like 5 minutes to 5, something like that. 2:45. I had a pot of coffee going before 4 o'clock.
You're welcome, Happy Grand. Yeah, they're good quality seeds too. They come in nice packages, and it's a regular. I mean, they sell tons of seeds. They sell regular tomatoes too, but they have a dwarf project where they try to cross all these things to get dwarf tomatoes. That's pretty neat. Tomato.
Everybody want to talk. Everybody want to talk. It's like, come up here and talk.
I was just looking at some of the chat here that I was.
Yeah, we got
I was looking.
We got about 10 more minutes, and then we'll be getting off of this live, getting a few things to. We're gonna go over to Rims. Rim starts at on the hour. He'll be starting up here, so we'll go over there and check him out for a little while. Get some visiting going on. Y'all don't forget, if y'all bored tonight, we got bad karaoke going on over at Jeff. Grow Something with Jeff's channel. And it'll be me. We might have a special guest tonight. She's been talking for a while about doing it. She's shy. But we may have a special guest. She sings bad. I'm not going to lie. She sings bad. But she has fun doing it. But
yeah,
the dwarf tomatoes are great, Eric. I mean, if you're going to be growing inside or, during the wintertime, the tumbling toms that I have, I think they grow up to about 14 inches tall. They like to actually fall over if you plant them in a pot. They like to hang down more than grow up. So it is really, really cool.
Well, I sent Eric some micro dwarfs.
Micro dwarfs?
Yeah, they grow like anywhere from 12 inches to 24 inches tall.
Really?
Yeah, and they put out the cherry tomatoes.
You know what? In Shed Bars, we have something else that's a micro. We have a micro Marshall. Little bitty guy, like 13-year-old girl shoulders.
Yeah, so I sent him. I grew a couple of them, and Jeannie Scarborough from Facebook sent me a bunch of those kind. So I sent some to Eric because I couldn't grow them all.
Right.
So I sent him like, I don't even remember, 3 or 4 different kinds maybe.
Yeah.
And he was going to try to get them to grow and try to save some seeds from them too.
Yeah, I've been a murderer, mass murderer this year. And it didn't stop at the tomatoes either. The peppers were worse.
You better not mass murder them seeds I sent you with your secret seed and those watermelon tomatoes.
I'm going to try not to. What are the secret seeds again?
The round ones.
Dick.
You'll see when you get them.
Yeah, I know.
And I can't send you any more because I sent you all of them.
Why would you do that? You said they were expensive.
They were expensive.
Why did you send me all of them?
So that you can grow them and save seeds.
I'm going to kill them.
You better not kill them. That's all there is.
Damn it.
And I shipped them so that I make sure you get them. So it cost me a lot to ship them too.
Why would you do that?
Because I slacked off and I didn't send them in time. I wanted to make sure you got them while you're in so you can start them.
I got you. Eric, 5 trays of tomatoes. Wow.
Nice. Yeah, so those are about $20 seeds.
Pay attention. He lost 5 trays. That's not nice.
Lost. I thought he had 5 trays.
No,
lost 5. Did somebody take them?
Did they run away?
They run away?
No, man, that's sad. I feel you with that, Eric. 216, 215 I lost to the cold. And those were looking good. Oh man, those were looking good. Those tomatoes were amazing.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
So those are now, after shipping to you, those are $20 seeds.
Oh my God.
So you better make them grow.
I'll try my best. If I can, I told you I'm going to try I'm going to go the route of Cosmic Cultivators with the Ziploc and stuff for those.
Well, I mean, there's about 20 seeds probably. So, I mean, you could try them a couple different ways.
If I knew what they were and, how to plant them, it would be a lot easier to be able to know how many to start.
You put them in the dirt.
Put them in the dirt. Okay, so they need
Dirt, sun, air, and water.
They don't need air. That's mean.
No, they need
Everything
air.
needs air.
Well, plants need dirt and water too.
I'm gonna suspend you. You're suspended for that's not right. You can't give me that. I'll be using some of the hydroponics solution on it for sure.
But I picked them specifically for your area because they like the heat, they like humidity, and like I said, they actually originated in Africa.
And that sounds like okra.
Why does it sound like okra?
Because that's exactly what okra likes.
Well, there's a lot of plants that like that.
We actually, Jilly, we actually had 7 out of the 10 sunflowers from John pop up. Super excited about that. And Sheena needs to do another update. She planted them way too close. The sunflowers we have outside are planted way too close. But it is pretty cool.
Yeah, Robert, I did give him 3 tips. I gave him 3 good tips.
Mr. Robert, I will be very upset if I get suspended for those 3 tips and Jeff doesn't, because I gave those 3 tips to the marshal, and his panties was all in a bunch because that's not good enough tips. So
but I gave you tips, not those tips. I gave you other tips.
I don't believe you.
There's
Stop
a
it.
message. There's your tips in a text message.
Mr. Robert, don't punish me. I'm telling you, do not punish me. I've been trying to be good. I've been trying to be good all season. I've been doing pretty good at it. I have. Since the season started, I've only made, 1 voiceover video. That was, not funny. Well, it was funny, but anyway, I'm trying to be good.
Job's tears. What is Job's tears? Are those tomatoes too?
I think so.
Yeah, what is she up to now? It said sun, water, ground, air, plus sing to them. Oh, he is not going to punish his own team with a weight penalty. I have something else in mind. Uh-oh.
I'd imagine. I'm not happy. If I get penalized by Robert, I'm not happy.
Well,
you have to bring out the song. Well, because it's a big show. And just like, Mr. Ross, oh my God.
Good for you.
You better stop. You better stop.
I think they want you to go off the rails. Pearl barley. Job's tears are pearl barley. You can make jewelry.
Yeah, barley doesn't do well around here. It's too humid. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Make jewelry from seed casings. That's neat.
Yep. So we're at the 2-hour mark, and half hour in. We will go ahead and jump off of here. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by. Everybody that's been, in the chat, visiting with us, giving us stuff to talk about. Miss JT and what she up to now. Jeff at Grow Something with Jeff. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. I really enjoyed it. I was bored. We're going to go ahead and on the hour, which is going to be 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. Rim's Family Farm is going to be
30 minutes.
Yeah, in about 30 minutes he'll be on. So we'll let's all go over there and show some support to Rims and see what they got to talk about. And we'll be hey Rim. You have a link? We can drop the link for you if you like. If not, everybody will be able to find you. I'm sure. We will. We'll be there, man. We got a couple things.
Is it posted?
I'm not sure.
I'm just checking now.
Rim.
Right in the. Oh, yep. Here, I can grab a link.
You can
and
share
post it. Yeah, I'll post it in here,
Okay.
and then
I'll go share it too once we get off of here.
paste it here.
Y'all don't forget bad karaoke tonight. Jeff's channel, Grow Something with Jeff. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go share it also, Rims. Thanks for letting us know about it, brother. So anyway,
Yes, sir.
South Louisiana, boy, you gotta love it. Y'all grow that. Bye. Like Cole
Take care,
said.
everybody.
Bye. Later.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, sorry.